Hi everybody, thank you so much for coming. I really am excited to introduce our speakers tonight because this is a topic that is on a lot of people's minds. We were just talking about that in the car earlier. A lot of people are still looking at gastric bypass and lap bands as a possibility of how to lose weight and feel better and do different things, and there's complications with it. So when I first met you, Carrie, you said, oh my gosh, I went through this and I would love to share this with people and kind of your experience. So Carrie, for an example, this is Carin Hines. Thank you, Carrie. Carrie did have gastric bypass surgery. How long ago?
About 7 years ago.
7 years ago. Lost 140 pounds, but then gained some back. So that's when Ruby Craft comes into play. She's like, I'll help you with that. And so you really kind of are starting the mission now.
Right.
To help people who are thinking about going through it, who have gone through it.
There's pros and cons and everything, and with the gastric bypass, it's not the answer to everything. It's a lot of mental and physical, a lifestyle. And what happened to me was I lost all my weight, and I could eat anything I wanted, I could drink, I had fun, I looked cute, you know, I had my pants and everything. But what happened is my behavior didn't change. So what happened is once my body kind of got used to gastric bypass, I started gaining a little bit of weight, and I was like, oh, it's a few pounds. And then pretty soon I was 40 pounds back to closer to where I was. Again, my emotion, my mental didn't change, my lifestyle didn't change. And then that's where Ruby came in. Yay. And I've known Ruby for, I don't know, well, I knew Ruby before she started Isogenics.
Yes.
And I had left the studios where we were working, and I had come back, and I saw her, I was just like, and she says, BAM!
And now we say, BAM!
So she has been trying to get me started in Isogenics and stuff like that, and I was like, whatever, and finally I was like, I have got to change, because I'm just going to go back to where I was. And so she shared with me, and she started the journey with me, and here I am. So,
yay! Right. Great job, Ruby. Great job, Carrie. So, and we wanted to bring Ruby into it, obviously, because she helped Carrie throughout this, but Ruby has her own story too. And pretty incredible story of releasing the 205 pounds in a year. Yes. I know. And just do a quick little spin, you know, the biggest question that people always have with that extreme weight loss, or even 80 pounds, 100 pounds, whatever it may be, is the sagging skin. And for one, did you have plastic surgery? And, you know, where does it go?
Well, it shrinks. I mean, I have people filling on me all the time.
I'm going to tell them, my name is Ruby.
You know, do you have pain in your skin? I'm like, well, feel. It's nothing. There's nothing there. I said, Isogenics is so amazing. When you put good stuff into your body reacts. So the first 11 days, I lost like 15 pounds and 30 inches, and I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. I'm like, something's, you know, let me see. You know, 30 days later, I'm like 30 pounds and 50 inches, and I'm like, okay, it's time to pump this up, because for that first 30 days, I did probably like 3 miles of exercise. I really didn't exercise. I really didn't. I tell people that all the time. But when I lost that 30 pounds, I'm like, 30 pounds and I didn't do nothing. Let me see what would happen if I get focused, if I get motivated, if I push myself. So 3 miles turned into 20 miles a month. Then 20 miles a month turned into 40 miles a month. I just kept pushing and pushing and pushing myself. And the more you burn in that oxygen, you know, the adaptogens get to going, and you just, them endorphins, and you putting the adaptogens in your body and endorphins all together. I mean, it just burned it, and I just see myself just shrinking. And I tell people, they're like, I didn't weigh myself all the time. I just noticed my clothes falling off. I just noticed the way I felt. So, you know, I wasn't a slave to the scale. I just looked at myself in the mirror, and I seen those changes in my face, my skin, everything just started changing. I just started that's why I always tell people, get ready to be transformed, because I got transformed. When people look at my before picture and they look at me now, it's like, that's not you. That couldn't have been you. I'm like, well, look at me. You can still see me in that picture. I just was focused and determined, and I wouldn't let nothing stop me. I said, okay, I'm gonna cut out all white. I cut out all white flour, sugar, rice, anything that was gonna keep me from achieving my goal, I cut it out. And I just did isogenics. I did a lot of green. I did berries, and I did my protein. Salmon, chicken, turkey, very, very lean. And I just focused, and I didn't let anything deter me from that. I cooked every day for my family. My husband, he loves fried chicken, fried fish. I cooked it for him because, you know, I can't force anything on anybody that don't want to do it for themselves. But I want to be the example for people and let them know this works. It truly works. If you put your mind to it and you say, I'm going to do this thing, it works. And 205 pounds. It will be 2 years in April that I've been on isogenics.
So it really proves that it doesn't come back.
And now I drink 1 shake a day.
Oh, do you really?
1 shake a day.
Mm-hmm.
And I eat
Right.
because I work out a lot.
Right.
And it's just going. You know, anybody that train anyone knows if you work out a lot, your body is a beast. It's like, feed me, because you're burning all these calories. And I drink a lot of water, and I sleep. Sleep is very important.
Sleep is very good.
Oh my God. I sleep 7, 8, sometimes I get 10 hours. Yeah! I wake up, I feel like I'm just so lean.
Mm-hmm.
And whey protein, amazing. When they say it leans you out, that's why I'm so lean. That's why I'm so lean.
And that's
muscular.
And muscular.
And muscular. That's what I've noticed since I've had people tell me. I mean, I had gastric bypass. A lot of people were like, "Oh, you look so good. You look so good." But the way I feel is so much healthier and so much grounded and so much centered, mentally, physically, emotionally, everything. And there's balance. And even my boyfriend said to me, he's like, "I can tell you just look better." And I never had anybody like say that in a way like your whole being looks good. You know, I wasn't the skinny girl that lost all this weight really fast. You know, and I do have saggy skin, unfortunately. I'm working out at, oh my Lord, we started working out at Orange Theory. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. It's like CrossFit on steroids. And let me tell you, just having isogenics in my life, the soreness the next day, the recovery is so much better. And I just feel like I can keep up. And I don't leave there feeling like
I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
I'm dragging.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, there was that one trick. Well, I don't do burpees.
He's crazy.
I don't do burpees. I'm not a burpee. But and he knows that now. But it's just a combination of everything. And it's like once your body you start feeding your body all these nutrients and you're getting rid of all these toxins out of your body, you just crave. You crave the product, you crave taking care of yourself, you crave everything. Now, being that I've had gastric bypass, I can't eat like their menu says. I have to take my one meal and I break it up through the day. And I can't drink like 2 scoops of my shake, I have to drink 1 scoop because of the way my system is and the way it breaks down food. Because the gastric bypass that I had, it takes half of your small intestine and it relocates it. And your small intestine is where you know, the calories are absorbed in your system and the nutrients. And I have tried so many vitamins at, Sprouts and trying to feel better, and it never really absorbed into my system. So I was never getting that energy like you get from isogenics. And since I've started it, I don't need to take 8 vitamins in the morning and then at lunch 30 minutes and then 10 at night and you're just sick because you've taken all these vitamins. It's like I drink my vitamins now and it's like food and the shakes are food and so my body's getting those nutrients that they haven't had in a really long time. So
it's amazing. It's amazing how you feel, how you wake up in the morning. You used to wake up in the morning aching like, God, No, not no more. I jump up. I want to move. I I jump up, I go walk me 12 miles before I go to work.
And it's when people are telling you this, like, you know, like, and you know, like I'll be telling people, and they're like, yeah, right. And then they see you again, and you're still like, have that energy, and you have that brightness, because I think every day that you put it in your body, you're just more brighter and more sunny and more happy and more
that
positive.
clarity, that mental clarity is
Yeah.
like, woo!
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
You will be amazed. And I think everybody has, like I was talking to you about, you know, because I have gastritis, I can't do it like they say that you should do it. But everybody has their way. And I feel like as long as you're putting that stuff into your body, I'm not hurting myself. And maybe I won't lose it, you know, in 10 days, but it'll take me 15 days, you know, or, you know, it's just, it's my journey. But I can guarantee you, this journey right now is the best journey that I've been on. And this, I'm so thankful for Ruby, and Isogenics, of course, but Ruby. And if you know Ruby, she's like, come on, Carin! She's on the phone, come on! But I finally did. So, and it's been a good ride. It's been a good ride in a lot of ways in my own personal life.
So, Carrie, would you mind kind of, you know, if you feel comfortable doing this, kind of going over the emotional part that the gastric bypass did before, during, and after?
Well, you know, before, you know, it was funny because before I was like, you know, I was a mom and I was in an unhappy marriage, and then one day I just looked, and I was always the funny girl, and I've always been that way, but, you know, when you're big, you know, everybody kind of comes to you and says, you know, make me happy, make me. And I finally was just one day looked in the mirror and I'm like, who is that person? Because I'm not happy. And of course, what do? You go eat, you know, it makes you feel better, or you go drink, or you know. And so when I finally decided to get the gastric bypass, I got a lot of negative, you know, feedback and a lot of positive. My mom was like chasing me down the hallway going, don't do it! And my dad's going, go, do it, you know. And because it was, I knew if I didn't do anything, I'd be on a journey of disaster. It would be diabetes, you know, heart attack, high blood pressure, and I was young, you know, I had young kids. So after I had it, it was like I instantly started losing weight. But then I still had those feelings, and I wasn't happy. But I never was taught or didn't have anything that was going into my body feeding me to be, you know, wanting to really take care of myself. I did the quick thing. And I'm not against gastric bypass. I think it's a great option for people, but the most thing that I want to share with people is take care of, take care of yourself post, you know, pre, and then post, because it is a journey. And if it's not balanced, it's not going to be successful. And I'm walking proof of that because I gained 40 pounds back. And so with that, you know, through this whole time, I you know, looking back, I'm like, wow, I got a divorce, and I wasn't happy I got a divorce. But I never kind of got on a good road to recovery of my addiction to food. I just couldn't put it in my body, along with nutrients and along with other things, and my body was dying. So here I was thin, and I was dying, and then I started eating again. So I mean, to have Isogenics and Ruby and the family that's in this, I mean, this company is amazing, the support is amazing. You can go online, and I mean, it's just, information is just amazing. And if you have a question, you can call anybody, and everybody's like, you know, come on, you're good, you know, that's fine, do that, you know. And so, first time in a long time, I really started caring about myself and just feeling good. And this is my journey, and I'm going to take care of my body because I have to live in it for the rest of my life, and nobody else is going to do it for me. And I can't go get back and get gastric bypass again. I mean, I could, but it's going to cost me thousands of dollars, and it's very risky. And why not just do the simple thing and have, you know, and there's so much. I mean, I'm kind of a newbie. I mean, pretty much newbie, but I don't have half the stuff. And I'm just like, every month I try to bring something else in. And, you know, there's some things I don't like. Like, I got the chocolate. I'm not a real big sweet eater. I can't. But someone said put, you know, chili pepper in it. So I did that, and it's really good. I mean, there's so much. There's so many menus. There's
recipes.
Pancakes, you know, that aren't real sweet. You know, I mean, there's so much. So the emotional side of it is, I can still eat, which I'm an eater and I'm a snacker, but I can take my meal and it still works for me, but I'm doing it healthy versus, you know, I mean, and that's what I like about it too. I can have an avocado and not feel bad. I can have brown rice, you know, all within reason, you know, and that's another thing when I'm an eater. And when I was thin, when I lost all my weight, I wasn't ashamed to eat in front of people. And then I started getting that shame back, you know, and now I'm like, I'm not ashamed again. Because I know I'm eating healthy. And again, it's an emotional roller coaster, you know. I'm a food addict. But I can still be an addict and have good food, you know, yeah. And not feel guilty. And I can eat, and my boyfriend owns a produce distribution. So I can pull a string and I have like a grocery store. And it's funny because the people that work in the warehouse, and they're like, here, they'll just hand me something, you know. So, but I don't feel guilty eating that, you know, I can feel my body, like, you know when you eat something that's really good in your body, you're just like, oh, this tastes so good. It's like now it's the healthy stuff because my body, I'm releasing toxins, and now my body's absorbing the nutrients of the good food. And I can eat, a zucchini raw, and my body's just like, you know? So, but, you know, it's an everyday fight, and with myself, you know, but this has really, really, really helped me. And I know that I may be successful in more ways than one, you know, not only health, but wealth. And that's what's so great, because you just share about it. And I would rather share it, and then whatever comes with it, comes with it. But, so.
I have a question about your emotional side. Like, after you had your surgery, were you real open with those close around you, or even like if you go out in a social setting, you know how servings are so big and things like that? Like,
really hard,
that's a real struggle for someone in your situation, because you have to really watch portion control and also pacing
it's amazing
yourself.
How big the portions are.
Right.
And I was open about it.
You were open.
Yeah, I was open about it because, you know, I'd go to restaurants and I'd be like, and I still would do this. I would order kids portions and that was still too much. But you know, I wanted to share, and I've always been very comfortable and very open about it. Especially people that are struggling with weight, and now I feel like I have more tools because of being in having it, and now with isogenics and, you know, gaining some of my weight back. But you know, there's some people. It's funny. I lost some of my friends losing my weight, and that was hard. I lost my best friend since elementary school, but she was heavy, but she didn't want to, you know. So we just started talking, and I started sharing isogenics with her, to be honest with you, on Facebook. So, hi! So, yeah, I mean, I'm not ashamed of what I did, you know. I'm ashamed of myself that I allowed myself to kind of go back up the road again. But now I'm not ashamed, because now I feel like it was a purpose for that. Because now I can share more for people that are, you know, that are heavy and want to lose weight. And not even, you know, people that are considered obese, but people that are just not happy physically, which is causing, you know, emotion. I've seen my friend go from a very small size to large, and she's not in a happy marriage. And I share with her, and I invited her, but unfortunately she didn't come. But I'm not going to stop trying.
Right.
So,
thank you.
That's key.
Yeah.
I told Stephanie, I said, when they tell me no or no thanks, I'm not considered a no or no thanks. It is a not right now.
Yeah. Right. And that's what it is.
Time when they're like, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's out there. So.
Yeah. And Ruby, I mean, you obviously probably went through some emotional ties too, because that's I mean, you went through how many sizes?
Ooh.
So just shopping alone.
Thank goodness for a good meal.
And how many pairs of pants to try out? Those don't fit anymore.
Yeah. And like Carrie said, you lose friends. We lose clients. We're hairdressers.
Yeah.
So we lose clients because they don't, you changed. No.
Right.
I didn't change for the worse. I changed for the better. I just got smaller. I'm still me.
Right.
And I still can't understand that, but I always say, Lord, they'll be back.
Right.
Because I'm not going to change who I am.
I had a friend tell me I was stuck up because I was looking in the mirror because I was changing my outfits. We were out of town, we were in London, and I kept changing my outfits, and that's like so fun when you get to that point.
Right.
And I kept changing, I'm like, oh, I want to change it about. She's like, you know what, you've gotten so stuck up since you lost your weight. And I was like, okay, now I'm stuck with this girl for 5 days in London, and I don't like you anymore. You know? But it was,
And I'm not even shopping while I'm here.
I know, right? I'm like, you can just stay. But that's the thing, it's like you do lose friends and
You even lose family members. My older
Right.
sister, you're smaller than me. Yeah, that's the plan.
but my health is so much greater than those friends that don't love me enough to go go through the journey with me.
To hold my
Yeah.
hand
Right.
all the way through with me.
And in most cases, most of them will come back.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, and they have, and actually
Oh,
she
yeah.
has. I don't. She's not as close as we were, but you know, she is. And like my friend that I lost from first grade, we were best friends, and she's still heavy, and we just found each other on Facebook again. And it's
good.
been, yeah. But
Right.
I'm sharing with her, and I think people are just it's. I don't even know how to explain it. It's I don't care. Like I mean I care. You know what I mean? But it's like the happiness that I find feeling so good again, and even my boyfriend now, since I started back on it, or started on it, he's kind of went through like a little weird thing too, and that, but it's like, now he's like, wow, you look good, and it's like, I think sometimes your friends, or your spouse, or your partner, or whatever, gets a little frightened, because you're just like on this, this like powwow, isogenics, I feel so good, I feel good.
Which happens no matter how much you lose.
Yeah.
How little you lose.
So,
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, it's worth it.
It's worth it. It's worth it.
And you said, Ruby, one time, I asked about your husband, and how if he looks at you or treats you different, and you're like, oh no, baby, it's exactly the same. That man loves me.
He do. He really do. So January, he just cut away. He's like, I'm gonna backtrack on isogenics. So first, I'm gonna stop. The rice, the bread, the whatever. I said, baby, whatever you do, it's your process. Go through it. So I feel like before I pushed it on him, now I'm kind of back.
Yeah.
So I'm letting him go through the motions himself, because he see me, I'm going a lot now. It's like, where you going? What you gonna mean? Where you going? Oh, Palm Springs. Oh, where you going? Oh, it's like I'm leaving him, and he's not. He don't want to happen. He can't have that to happen. I get dressed. When I was at the meeting Saturday, he was like, where are you going looking like that?
I had the same thing. He did the same thing. We were talking in the car about the product, and she's like, I'm going out of town to get my product, and they're going to eat it all when I'm gone.
Eat it all.
And it was funny, because that's one thing that my boyfriend, because he's like, well, I want to eat whatever I want. And I'm like, okay, and I'm, I just feel better, and, I'm not dropping, but my Ionics, I have to hide it, because he'll get in there and he'll make it. And I'm like, dude, that's fine. Like, it's your own box. I know.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. So it's amazing. I mean, when you change, it's like your whole family, like, oh my God. I sent my picture out from Saturday, and my family's like, oh my God, you look so amazing. You look so amazing, sis. Go, go, go. So I'm from a big family. It's 12 of us. I have 8 brothers, and 3 sisters now. One of my sisters passed away. But we are always like boosting each other up. So my older sister, she used to be the small one. Now she's heavier than everybody. So it's like, oh, the tables turned on her. Now I'm trying to sign her up now. I'm like, okay, I can sign you up and get rid of that real quick. If you just give me a call. So she's grunting. So grunting don't mean no. So I'm hoping that that's what she's gonna do. So.
Now, does your friend have any questions?
I asked one. Do you have any more questions? No? Hi. This is Krista, everybody.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Thank God for FaceTime.
I know, right?
It is great.
Yeah.
So do you guys have any
Any more questions?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, for the gastric bypass, because I've heard, and so I don't want to interrupt you, but I have heard from people that do go through gastric bypass that there's issues with taking vitamins.
Yeah, we absorb things differently,
Yeah.
and now I think your friend had the sleeve, and I'm not sure, but we talked about it. The sleeve is, and
Yes.
I'm not 100% how that works, but I know with mine, because the small intestine is where everything is absorbed, I only have kind of half of that and a little less. So the absorption, I don't absorb stuff is like a normal person. That's one of the things with isogenics, is that's one thing that I noticed, is that it did absorb into I feel it, like my ionix in the morning, I mean, it's we call it mojo juice.
Mojo.
And it is, I mean, it's like, you just feel it, and it's, I have, like, if I could return my vitamins, I could probably buy a Mercedes, I swear.
Right.
And all my diet pills, you know, trying to lose this weight again, and even like when I've had surgery and stuff like that, I have to let the doctor know, because I don't absorb pain pills, like, you know, pain medicine. So it's like I almost have to take double. And they're like, oh, you're drug searching. I'm like, no, I'm just, I absorb stuff different. But that's one thing that I've noticed with this product, is that it absorbs into my body. So, and I can't explain why, and I should probably find out why. I just feel it absorbs more. And
But you are taking the Ageless Essentials?
no, I'm not. I'm just,
Okay.
right now, I'm just doing the Ionics, yeah, and the
Oh, they-
Cleanse for Life. I do
Okay.
I make my little mixture of want more energy and Cleanse for Life and my Ionics. And I drink it all the day. I wish I had this and this. Yeah, this one. I don't have my glasses on. But yeah, and I just feel it. And I ran out, and I was like,
If you ever take the product B.
I know I need to start. That's my next one. So I always try to add something every month, you know. That
Well, she's a newbie, like she said.
Yeah.
She just started, so she tries to
Right.
buy something new every month. So
That will be interesting to find out how your body absorbs that.
Yeah.
How you feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So liquids I do better with. So that's why I think I'm absorbing it easier in my
Right.
body. So I would like to try that, and I would, definitely will give you my testimony on it and see.
Mhm. We may even want to use her as a test example too,
Oh,
for John,
Oh, yeah,
for this,
true.
for the spa. Yeah, we'll chat about that.
Okay.
She's got something in the works right now too.
Oh, okay.
All right, good. So I'm sorry, Terry, you had a question.
I just wanted to know what the difference between your vitamins are compared to, say, Centrum, or, in other words, what is the difference? Because I'm not interested in the bypass surgery, because I haven't
Right.
had that. So
Right.
that's NA for me. I just want to know what the difference is.
Yeah. Do you
Well,
want
the
to-
com-
Anything.
I think it's the combination of the vitamins and it's the nutrients, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, like
Maybe.
Centrum and things that you buy at
Mhm.
like
Right.
that, those are synthetic vitamins. Your body can't absorb them no matter what. These are not synthetic
They're not
vitamins.
synthetic.
Organic.
So, I don't know if anyone remembers the story that Greta told
Oh, yeah.
about Silver Centrum. Do you want to share that story?
I'm not sure I remember it correctly, but I know that she was saying,
What they are.
was it a garbage company? Or
It was waste management.
Waste management.
Yeah, it was Phoenix Waste Management or
Was doing some sort of
studies.
study, and they were looking at, with the trash, they would find like whole vitamins, like, that in the waste.
Right.
That means that it never actually
it
absorbs
digests.
It never digests.
in your body.
Right.
And the one they found the most of was Centrum Silver.
Wow, no kidding.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Isn't
Yeah.
that crazy? And they were
Yes.
asking about our products, saying they never see this one, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Right, you want a whole food vitamin, that's a whole food.
Ours
vitamin.
are time release, they
Food, yeah.
dissolve in the body.
Mm-hmm.
So
Because it's made of food,
it's all made of food.
Oh, okay.
which is different from
Yeah.
synthetic, you know what I
Oh,
mean?
right,
So,
right, right.
yeah.
Of course.
Stuff in the store is cheaper because it's filler.
Mm-hmm, it's filler,
Not
and
as
that's
pure.
that's pure.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that
they
comes
also
If you
say-
ever start taking those and go off for a couple days,
Uh-huh.
you will know the difference.
Uh-huh,
Immediately,
immediately.
yes.
And they say that to get this combination of how it's put together,
Mhm.
you would have to buy so
So
many
many
different
different.
vitamins
Mhm.
that it would cost you way more. Like,
Mhm.
to just be able to get that much of, all the different things to put together just to get this combination,
Mhm.
so.
Hmm.
So
Learn
Centrum Silver is
something new.
actually doing a
Yeah.
lot more harm than good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and you expect it to be doing something, you're going to start
Well, yeah,
buying
your doctor's
it,
telling you
and
to
you're
go buy
having
it,
this
right.
theory and idea that it's actually doing what you want it to do, and it's just
Actually
not, and
causing
it's
you
just
much
going
more harm.
straight through.
And Isagenix, Daily Essential with product B, Isogenesis, is like revolutionizing aging and all kind of things in your body. So you really want to put that in your body versus Centrum. It's worth every penny. Every penny.
Is it liquid
it's-
form?
No,
No.
It's syrup pills.
They're pills.
Pills.
They're pills. They're coming
Big
in
ones?
packages. It's
not, I don't think we have an example of them.
Okay.
They're really not that big.
I usually
Oh,
carry
really?
a package.
Okay, great. But the way that they're made with the capsules and everything, it goes down very easily. I mean, I can actually
This is
put
the TM one.
the entire thing in my mouth,
Yes.
and I drink it with shake, with
Uh-huh.
my shake, and it just goes down
It
really
goes
easy.
down.
I was gonna say, I take mine with my shake, so
So they
because
come
the
in
shake is
AM
thick, I
and
think
PM.
I just take each one with my.
Right.
Okay. So it actually goes right down.
Do you want to see it?
Yeah, sure.
And the only thing that's missing in that pack is the sea light.
And the sea light is the only one. It would be.
Okay.
That's what Shar was talking about, where you can just add that sea light,
Right.
and then you have.
Isn't that in the AM now?
Yeah.
That's in the AM pack.
Right.
The AM has the sea light, and the PM doesn't. That's the difference between the
Here you go.
AM and the PM pack.
Right.
Oh, yeah, that's the only difference.
Amazing.
You're
I
right.
love
So if
it.
you just buy the seeds, you
Yeah.
take that out
Yeah.
there.
Sometimes, I mix them up, sometimes I'll grab it, and then I'll be like, oh man, it's in the morning, I took a PM.
Yeah, that's the only
The
difference.
only difference is that one has vitamin C.
Just the vitamin
Yeah.
C, okay.
Yeah,
All right, good to know.
Yeah.
Because I read a bunch of PMs and I need to use them, so.
right.
Yes.
And I think
You can use them
the
anyway.
reversatile is in there.
Resveratrol.
Reversatile, and so that's like having 25 bottles of wine with no hangover.
Yeah.
Every
No
day.
hangover.
Right? And
Which
it's
one
in-
is that?
It's in the pack. It's in the pack.
It's in the pack.
And you feel like you've had those 25 bottles of wine with no hangover.
Right.
And what's so amazing with Isogenics, I had my knee scoped, maybe 5 years ago, and my doctor told me to lose 50 more pounds. I'm 85 pounds, I gained 50. So since I've been doing Isogenics, like I said, I could do 20 miles. I'm always going. I have
Jeez.
never had a problem out of my knees. Never. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. And when I tell people that, they're like, I had to have mine replaced. I'm like, no. No.
Yeah, what we do, you know, I mean,
Standing.
standing and back, and that's one thing I've noticed is that I can stand a lot longer, and I don't like, you know, I don't get my back doesn't cramp up, and my, you know, my lower back doesn't hurt when I get home, and it's like when I get into bed, I'm actually getting into bed like, oh, you know, like I'm feeling like, oh, I can't wait to go sleep, and it's not like I'm getting in bed going, oh, you know.
Oh, my back.
So,
You don't
yeah.
do none of that
Yeah.
anymore, so.
That's one thing I
It's
have.
amazing.
That's one thing that. It's funny because it's like I didn't really think about that because I haven't really had any problem. Like I haven't, you know, you think about it when you're sore and you can't, you know, like getting down on the ground, you're like, you know, and your knees go, you know, but I haven't thought about that because now I've experienced it. So.
It's an amazing product.
Yeah.
I would just pray and wish that everybody I know would get on it. Just try it. It's a money back guarantee.
Yeah.
You have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Everything to gain.
I had a girl
Everything
that
to
used
gain.
it and she didn't like it, and they were just so they gave her all her money back, you know, and she kept her product, you know, and you know, they were like no questions asked. They wanted to know why,
Right.
and she told them, and they're like, okay.
Yeah, they would get that product back.
Yeah.
They want it back. They want it
Well, the
back.
canisters.
They
Right.
canisters.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They do.
They want the canisters back.
Oh, that you showed that you did try it.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah, or the unused, but, yeah. Yeah. Great.
So that's my story.
Any questions from?
And you're sticking to it,
I'm
right?
sticking to it.
Literally.
It's a good story. Yeah, I'm sticking to it literally.
Sorry. We're having a little FaceTime.
Like I said,
You have questions?
11 days, 15 pounds, 30 days,
Our
30
adventure
pounds.
announcement.
Well, oh,
7 months,
Um,
101 pounds in a year, 172 in a year, and 200. It's like boom, 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 boom. Because I was consistent. You have to be consistent.
It's almost like when you do, like you start craving the good food, you know?
Mhm.
Like today I went and met my friend and I had sushi and I didn't have sushi, but I had salmon, and then I had some rice, and it was like the salmon had like glazed or teriyaki sauce on it, and I was like, okay, I don't, I'll eat it, it's okay, but I was just like, oof, like I would have felt so much better if I would have had the vegetables and and the salmon without all that goop on there. It's almost like you look at it and you're like, ugh, like you stop craving certain things, and it's like I just want that healthy nutrition, and instead of the sugar and the
condiments and all the glaze and all. I don't do that. I don't do it. I just say, no, just give me a side of this and a side of that. I just want this and I want that. Can't eat it.
Yeah.
Right.
It's all about choices. Yeah.
I know.
It's all about choices.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I think the difference is once you know the difference, then you can make the choice.
Yeah,
but until then, you don't understand.
Right.
And that's what isogenics taught me that.
Right.
Yeah.
It taught me that.
Because in the beginning you think there's no way I'm gonna get, like there's certain things that I love pasta, I love bread, love it.
Me too.
So in the beginning I'm thinking, how in the world am I gonna give that up? Like I can't even imagine it. But when if you really say, okay, I'm gonna try this 30-day, and you try a 30-day, after 30 days your body changes, and the things that you normally would crave, all of a sudden you don't really crave it anymore. You know what I mean? Like all of a sudden you see the change in your body, if you feel the difference, that you don't even want to put it in your body, like, you know what I mean? Because you're like, oh, and then when you do, you can actually feel.
It doesn't even taste like it used to,
right, it's kind of always
It don't taste good.
you just don't, right, something just doesn't feel
Well,
right.
that's how I felt today, and I only ate like probably that much. I didn't eat like like a big piece of salmon, and they're like, do you want to wrap it up? I'm like, okay, and I thought to myself, I don't even want that in my car. I don't even just to think of that, and I just don't feel good now because my body's like in shock. I think
It's rejecting it. It's rejecting it.
And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, there's certain things I crave.
That's what I was gonna say now, and having said that, there are times, because your mind is a strong thing, and there are times when you are gonna crave that bread or that pasta, and I just say eat it, and if you want it, don't deprive your body of it, because the worst you can do is try and fight something, because then you're gonna want it more. So go ahead and have it, but maybe you don't have as much.
Have a little bit.
You know what I mean? And either it's gonna go in your body, or you're gonna
and you take it, and it's like this. Ooh.
You know what I mean?
I can relate with Carrie on one thing though. You said you can't have it in the car. What I've noticed with me is after 30 days, should I say before the 30 days, I would walk in or even pass by or walk into a fast food and I would smell it and I'd go,
Right.
Now, my body, the way it processes the smell now, I go,
yuck.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's me.
Like, it smells way different. It doesn't even smell like food anymore. It smells like grease trap. I never recognized that.
It's like plastic.
Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny? You never recognize how.
Smell before, and now it registers. I'm like, oh man.
Yeah.
You can smell the grease.
You can smell it.
And that's how I was in the car today, because I was like, I shouldn't have had that anyway, and I should have told him, but I didn't think about it. And my friend was buying me lunch, and I didn't want to be rude, and I was like, okay, I'll just have a little bit. I'm like, that looks kind of good, and I tasted it. I was like, and then I started getting a little sweaty, like, no, it's not working for me.
Yeah.
And the miniature announcement was before I started, there's 5 notches on my belt, and I was in the middle one. And within the 30 days, I went down, and then I got to the last one, and then I ended up having to take a hammer and a nail and put it in. Announcing it, I have to put another one. So I have created 2 new holes in my belt, and it's continuing.
Wow. So you're gonna keep that and keep putting notches in?
I'm putting notches in my belt.
Nice.
Hey, this is going.
That's awesome. Nice.
It is, and it's almost like
that's a good reminder as a journey when you get to that point of where you want to be.
More notches on.
Right.
Yeah, keep your belt and always have that as this is what I've done, this is what I had to do.
Yeah.
It is. And what's neat about it is like, when it's kind of like when you get your mindset, and like when I first started with Ruby, I'm like, Ruby, I can't eat. And she's like, spread it out, spread it out. And I was like, it's like she almost gave me permission, and then I was like, okay, I'll do that. And it just made it so much easier. And that's what's really neat about the product, and having the support of people, because they're like, well, just do this.
So important.
And everybody's putting their recipes on the thing, and people, they're like, what shakes do you like? I'm like, I eat chocolate. And they're like, okay, put this in there. I was like, oh. And, you know, because, I mean, it's, you know, you have to spice it up. But as long as you're doing it, you know, and trying stuff, some of it you like and some of it you don't. I mean, you made some awesome stuff the last time I was here, and like the pancakes. I love those pancakes. And I'm not a sweet person, and I like those because they're just, it's just enough where you feel like you're made
Yeah. Made them many times since then.
Yeah, they're so
The
good.
boys are like, pancakes?
Yeah.
But I mean, my granddaughter like it, the kids like it. Isogenics is
And that's what I like
delicious.
too, is you can give it to your kids.
Yeah.
Because there's some things that are like, you know, not recommended for, you know, and you're like, oh, okay, I'll you know, what difference is if I'm eating it or drinking it, whatever, but I can't give it to my kids, you know?
Right, yeah.
And it's,
That should tell you something.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the program that I was on before Isogenics, before Tao had introduced me and I met Stephanie, was I was doing phentermine. And that,
I did that too.
I'm
After.
telling you, like the first day I tried it, I'm not even kidding.
Did you clean your house?
Yes, I did, but my heart, I felt like my heart was going to explode, and it was just beating so fast, which now I understand why they don't recommend for anyone with high blood pressure, because you probably would explode.
Wow.
But I saw, like, I don't know how to explain it. What is it called when you see something that's not there?
Hallucinations.
Hallucinations.
Wow.
I had hallucinations. I saw things that weren't there.
And you're starving your body.
And yeah,
And
you're
doing drugs.
You
And
like
it, you know,
it is an
Are you kidding me?
it is an amphetamine-based drug that's approved by the FDA. But let me tell you that I felt like my heart was going to explode. I had hallucinations, and I was shaky, and you're shaking because you're depriving yourself, and it was just insane.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
And the minute you jump off, you gain that
Yeah.
I've heard that.
every time.
I've done the HCG, I've
Yeah.
done amphetamine, I've
I've
done
done HCG
Nutrisystem, Weight Watchers, you know, I've done it all, you know, and it, like I said, like after my surgery, and I could eat anything, and so when I started getting that weight back, I did Nutrisystem, and then I did the HCG, and I stopped that, and I gained more weight back, and then I did the phentermine, and I went to the doctor, and they're like, oh, you have to come back and check your, you know, blood pressure in a month, and I'm thinking, okay,
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
care, and you know, I just want to get down to where I was. Again, the mental, emotional, it's not healthy, and then I didn't go back. I had some family stuff going on. My grandma was passing away and stuff, and I didn't go back for 2 months. So I went back, and she's, I can't give it to you. And I'm like, why? She goes, well, you didn't take it serious. And I'm thinking, why aren't doctors saying, try Isogenics, or try this, that feeds your body. You know, it's okay to eat. And when you're on phentermine, you're not eating, and you're just spun. And I looked like, excuse me, crap on it. I mean,
Yeah.
I looked pasty, I didn't have color in my face.
I had huge behavior changes.
Oh, and
I
I was
was
grouchy.
Really quick to anger.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was huge behavior changes, and that's what I like about the products that I'm getting here. Is not only do I feel way healthier, way better, it doesn't affect my mood in a negative way, the way that most of these plans that I've done
Right.
has. It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't make me shaky. It hasn't affected me in a negative way where I look like I'm about to fall over or
Right.
need emergency assistance. Like, this provides me with the nutrition I need without making me feel horrible.
And you can leave it on the counter, and your kids can
Yeah,
get it.
yeah.
Yeah. You don't have to hide it.
Wow.
Well, you have to hide
That's
it because they
scary.
want to eat it.
Which is good, because my kids do make it.
Oh, they're so cute.
They come in the kitchen without me there, and then they start making it.
Yeah, but it's so amazing for your body, and the bedtime belly buster with the Isopro and the green or the fruits.
Oh,
Either or.
yeah, right.
So amazing. Another thing to help you sleep good at night, lean, tone your body out while you sleep. Amazing.
Yeah.
What other company got something like that?
I know.
Easy. Easy.
Right.
It was easy. It's like that easy switch. You just push the button, boom. Isogenics should get a button like that.
They do a green button.
Easy button. Boom. Yeah, it's easy. It's easy. It has a plan. You read the plan. You follow it.
Right.
You lose weight. Boom. In inches.
Right.
Easy. It's just a choice.
Right.
Just a choice. Just a choice. And I thank God.
Does any of the product ever interfere with any medication you might be taking?
I don't take medication.
It's
I
all
think I
organic and it's all food.
Yeah, I would say if there's anything that you would want to maybe talk to your doctor about, maybe
Mhm.
something like the e-shots or something. You know what I mean, don't you
Sure.
think? I mean, even though it's natural,
Uh-huh.
it's still a natural caffeine, right?
Mhm.
So I would always just recommend to people, just tell your doctor I'm taking
Okay.
this, and they can usually look in back and go, okay, based on the ingredients, if it's fine
Right.
for you or not. Right, pretty much most things.
And there are some people, and I mean, that have, I mean, I've heard that, you know, we're on, you know, medications
Mhm.
and, you know, and I think like, you know, like.
You put good stuff in,
Right.
your body heals itself within, so.
You know, I mean, it's like gastric bypass, people that had diabetes, their diabetes is gone. You know, so I think if you're losing weight, you know, and you're, you know, stuff like that, yeah, it's, you know, you're getting to a healthy point in your life and your, you know, BMI is different, it's changed and, you know, you're more active and you're, you know, your heart's healthier because you're exercising, you know, I mean,
Yeah, the body will heal itself.
yeah.
Body heals itself. I did have find one person that was having heart issues and he couldn't do the vitamins, but he lost tremendous amount of weight. He lost like 30 pounds in 30 days, so without the vitamins. So I'm like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think
Because his
anytime you
doctor
should
told
talk to
him
a
not. He
doctor,
took
you
the
know.
vitamins to his. I gave him my empty box and he took it
Mhm.
to the doctor and he said, you know, right now we're gonna say no for those. So I don't know if he.
They might have just thought it was too much.
It would have been too much right then.
Right.
Too much
Yeah,
change.
Too much change.
So I don't know if he ordered them yet. I'm gonna have to call and see if he's doing the vitamins because he's off all his medications and he might be doing those vitamins. Cause I'm like, that product B is amazing. So I'm like, I really want to do one, but it's